Well, hello everyone, it's Liam Catterson here with episode 21 of season 3 of Person of Interest. As after this, 2 episodes left to go for this season, and it's looking to be a very explosive way to conclude things for season 3. It's just been an absolute treat this season. But as I've said, it looks like it's going to be absolutely chaotic, especially with Samaritan, waking up basically for the first time. And yeah, Harold is the first target, so it's going to be very interesting to see how things go down in order to, of course, keep Harold alive, as well as the rest of the team, of course, because, once Harold is taking care of everyone else, will be following suit. So yeah, but I mean, like I said, it was it's going to be very, very intriguing to see where things will go. But with that said, let's get into this episode of Person of Interest. It's episode number 21 of season 3. Let's go. Holy shit. Yep. Oh my god. You can leave them alone. You can leave them alone. And you can leave Finch alone.
Your kid's better off with a father.
I'm sure. Can't draw any noise, can we? I don't like, because it's usually the machine, but now it's Samaritan. Oh my god.
Him?
For the record, I'd just kneecapped that guy, especially if I was nursing a leg wound.
Okay,
that's two.
First,
okay.
My leg is fine. And second, what's with the tips on field work? Who died?
But that's it though. Like, I'm not sure if it's more so to keep things a bit quiet and all of that. Because we know what Shaw's like when it comes to injuries. She's not hearing the bell. Right? So that's why I was thinking maybe she's playing it safe. Because we know what Shaw's like. Like, we've seen Shaw... Like, Finch has had to try to force his hand in order to make sure that Shaw stays put, basically, because of the fact that Shaw is not going to listen to what her body is saying. Like, it's saying, we need rest, but Shaw's not biting, like I said, so...
Machine guns and one honest-to-goodness Russian RPG-7.
What the shit?
We need to get invisible. Fast.
When you can't even say my name.
Phone.
How long will it take? You've had all the city's domain awareness feeds for 4 hours already.
And look what those 4 hours have already produced.
Yeah, because it's not just going to be Harold they're going to be focused on. All these
probable
peeps.
terrorists.
If it can't find this Finch, how about the next best thing?
Reese.
If we have it combine everything it knows about Harold Finch.
No,
and ask it to find its
not
closest
Grace.
living connection.
No.
Let's see what it comes
You
up.
leave her alone.
Traffic.
There we go. Okay, that's cool. I mean, yeah, that's cool. No! Ignore it! Ignore it!
When that light...
Who is she?
I'm not sure.
Oh
Could
my
be
god.
Family, a friend.
Fiance?
Bring her to me.
You leave her alone! You leave her alone, you bastards!
I beg your pardon?
Not a crowd.
Exactly
I didn't
what
really
I'm
have a
saying.
family, but
Exactly what I'm saying.
or a coworker.
It's sad. Even if we know that Finch is alive.
One other person.
I don't like, honestly, this new UI, don't like it. Cause it's weirding me out and it's giving that ominous vibe that they are in full, that the whole world's in their hands, essentially. That's why it was so used to the UI from the past, seasons and all of that. But now that Samaritan is online, it's like everything is just shaken up, and not for the better. And it just gives you that the eerie vibe, chill down the back of your spine, right? Don't like it.
It's for a very dangerous criminal organization, and others are on their way. So we need to hurry. Emphasis on the hurry.
Yeah, hurry like there's no tomorrow. Oh, yep. Here we are. Bingo.
Image captures from down the street.
We're ready to move in.
That's
Hold
it,
your
though.
position. The
Surely
situation
she's
may
trapped.
require a certain amount of finesse.
There is that as well. Look at him! Look at the smugness!
Good night, Sarge.
Let's go.
Let's go, Fusco!
But a mutual friend thought I could help in here.
So you got yourself arrested.
Wouldn't be the first time.
No, it wouldn't. They kept a hood on. That surely their hood would be down.
There's a coil of copper.
Oh. It could be James Sticks. Styles. Oh no.
Believe it or not, she's one of the good guys, too.
What is going on? I barely believe this is a police station.
You're in a situation you can't control.
Is this a prank?
It's larger than you
Am
can
I being
imagine.
punked?
Sit tight. Just cooking it a little.
Very clever.
Good on Roots! Oh,
You're gonna want to dispose of that.
never could make
Especially
me
when
hate
the
you.
IT guys show him the street. Actually,
All units, there's been an explosion on 1214 Grand Street. It's an
That's tied to his
story
fu-
building. The explosion occurred
Root,
on the
I
top
could never
floor.
hate
All
you.
units carry out response immediately.
it was always 50-50.
Half a chance. Better than... Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's it, though. They're going to say that Finch is alive and she... Ah!
Spots where our machine can't find a hint of audio or visual surveillance.
Ooh,
When Decima took
yeah,
Grace,
dead
they
spots.
disappeared to this spot here. Red Hook Marine Terminal. An entire port blacked out to surveillance.
Someone doesn't want the world to see what's...
It's Fisk all over again. I mean, obviously, if you watched Daredevil Born Again, you know, Red Hook was very, very instrumental to, you know, especially with Vanessa and any kind of criminalized, activity. So it's Fisk all over again. Yeah. Actually, how would that work? Fisk against Reese. Because you don't want to fuck around with Fisk. As a certain commissioner found out very painfully. You'll be having the worst headache ever.
You can lose the hat. Whole area's a dead zone, meaning camera free.
Rue, I
And
don't.
since
I
we
think
ditched
you
our
underestimate.
phones,
Like,
I took
it's
the
always
liberty
very
of grabbing
important.
a
The
few
hat.
of these
Ask
on
the
our way
Marvel
out of the
Cinematic Universe.
Okay, so how fingernails? Signs of respiratory arrest, I'm guessing. Botulinum toxin.
Holy shit! So they fucked them up.
But you won't need 3.
Samaritan, but it's already online.
You think it's scary now?
Yeah,
Samaritan's
that's just a
brand new
like
system.
startup.
A child learning to crawl. These
Needs to
servers
grow up.
are for when it can run.
Not gonna lie, I thought she would dive at root or something like that, just to, you know, pierce my heart further.
You couldn't have aimed 2 inches higher.
Everybody's a critic today. Let's just go find your computer.
Lane, your bedroom was the upper right one.
All right, don't be
overlooking the
creepy.
street. Your parents still live there, don't they? Charming couple.
Every single detail.
are you?
Scary.
You studied history of art. Just think of me as Michelangelo in the Sistine
Yo,
Chapel.
that's ambitious.
Lying
The ferry bombing.
No. Oh, great.
His name was Harold.
Oh no, I'm scared. What if I told
How
you
tragic.
Harold is alive?
Please. So you said. So he told you.
Oh no.
Are you implying
no.
that Harold lied to me?
Oh
I'm implying
no,
that
I
your
don't
Harold
like this.
lived a remarkably anonymous life.
Questions about me and my life or Harold.
No need to lose your temper.
You're
Here's
the
all
one
you need to
being
know about
very...
me, old
You're
man.
prying
My
so
dad
much.
was an alcoholic. Nearly tore the family to pieces. But the thing about growing up that way, you get good at spotting lies. So good
Good on
that you start
Grace.
expecting them from everyone. You're the one who's lying to himself.
Grace.
You truly loved
Damn.
him, didn't you?
I would
What
have done
gave that
anything
away,
to save him.
Sherlock?
And Harold would have done anything for me.
Oh no.
Yes. I have no doubt.
No one
Decimus
needs to
holed
know.
up in there somewhere. And if we're lucky, so is Grace.
I'm sick of hiding. Let's make some noise.
So Shaw doesn't really do stealth.
Somebody call tech support?
Hey!
I'll be very happy to return her to you
As long as you bring Harold.
in exchange for Harold Finch.
Fuck's sake!
What makes you think we'd agree to that?
Your agreement is irrelevant. Get the message to Mr. Finch.
Oh
I
my
expect he'll cooperate.
god!
For Miss Hendrick's sake, don't be late.
Oh no!
I thought maybe it wasn't too late, that I could warn her.
He was gonna risk it all.
They want me, don't they? I'd like you to avoid violence if at all possible.
If.
But if they harm Grace in any way, kill them all.
Oh my god, that's kind of, I mean, he'd do anything, and if I'd be on the same boat. I literally would.
This moment was inevitable. This moment was always looking for me.
Oh no!
I have to accept it.
This is breaking my heart, I cannot lie. Oh!
Thank you.
Okay. Alright. I'm gonna rescue you, bud.
Harold? Is he what this was all about?
All I know for sure is you loved him. He loved you back.
Oh my god. I just know. Because they're gonna have to reunite at some point. They're gonna have to. All I know is when that day happens, I'm gonna be a broken mess.
Assuming everything pans out, I'll be in touch.
Yeah. Well, that's it. They've got their hands on Finch now,
Samaritan's
so...
losing defeat.
We now have 7 of Samaritan's servers.
Yeah!
Like I said. Trust me.
I had a feeling she was gonna nick the, bloody servers. Use the enemy's technology against them.
After all, you've been a very hard man to find.
Love it. We love it here. Oh my god. Yeah. This show's rude as hell. Especially this season. Yeah. I was wondering though, I knew they were going to go after Grace. I was wondering how it was going to pan out as well, because I was bricking it. Which is odd to say in regards to, should I say, the whole idea of Grace might find out about bloody his Harold surviving and all of that, but obviously with the circumstances as they are, it's not exactly, voluntarily and whatnot. So yeah, but I mean, at least she's gone to Italy and all of that. But yeah, they have to. If this show doesn't, like, if we get to the end of the, well, if I say if, as if there's any question, that's it. We're gonna keep on trekking. No, but in all seriousness, when we get to the end of the show itself, in a couple of seasons' time, and we don't have a moment from here until then where they have not reunited, that is the biggest. That will be the biggest. That will be the biggest blue balling in history. I'm being serious. This is gonna be the biggest blue balling of history. In the history of blue balls. There have been so many times where I've been thinking, okay, is this where, the truth hits and all of that? And it's understandable why Grace is not going to find out and all of that, but that's the closest we had. Even he touched her and she didn't know, and it's like, yeah. Well, that was a rude episode. Yeah, it was rude. Oh, man. I mean, the tears streaming down my face were, again, there has to be that moment, like, when they reunite, I'm not going to be here for it. I'm just non-existent at that point. I've been so hopeful, though, for them two to be together for such a long time, to be reunited. And obviously, in the grand scheme of things, I guess it wouldn't exactly work well, and all of that. So, yeah. It would probably also mean, like, Grace would end up being a casualty. I don't know. But, I mean, I was really, really worried. And I had a bad feeling that they would target Grace in order to get to some... in order to get to Harold. Because, obviously, that was the name of the game. And they didn't have a Face ID, or they didn't have anything to, pinpoint Harold. He was being very evasive. I mean, it was, well enough for them to have all of these other victims proper, but Harold was the key, and they got him. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was just really, really powerful stuff. Finch was always gonna... That's it, though. He was always gonna give up his own life for Grace. There was no talking him out of that. There was no alternatives. If Grace was harmed in any way, then he could not live with himself. They wanted him, and as long as Grace was safe, there we go. So, yeah. And, I mean, Finch is gonna... You'd imagine that Finch is definitely gonna be very instrumental for, like, I mean, the beta has already run its course, but now we've got to think a bit bigger, haven't we? So, yeah. Now, the problem is their servers have been hijacked, because I had a feeling Rue was going to do that shit. But that's it, though. Like, you had all of these containers and all of that, and it's like... What are we gonna do with them? Because yeah, we can't just leave them on a silver platter for Greer to take, right? So, and it makes sense though. Update the machine, like the machine that we have worked so hard to, like, or that we've worked alongside with all of this time. Why don't we take the fight to using their technology, right? Because, I mean, it does seem very insane, doesn't it? Even the UI. I mean, it was just very, very scary just shifting to like not just the UI but sound effects as well. The way that the operate, like the way that the machine was operating, it was just very scary stuff because it was, you know, new terrain, and obviously we know the threat that Samaritan can, and Decima can produce. So yeah. So good on Root for like I said, hijacking the systems, that the extra systems that yeah. So but I mean, that's it though. We've like, I'm really curious to see where things are going to go for these next 2 episodes. So I don't think it's just going to be as easy as, you know, rescuing Harold, which obviously is the yeah. I just have this bad feeling that rolling into season 4, it's going to be a bit more than yeah, it's going to be a bit more challenging than you imagine it would be. Because Decima are really rough. They are very tough bastards. What I really liked about this episode, like even in their beta form, was how the team machine, they had to be very careful in the shadows, and you know, even the phone call was very tense the first time around, especially with that camera. So yeah. But it was just and to see how Reese was going, yeah, he was not going to abandon it. It was just very interesting and very tense stuff. So yeah, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what Root does with these servers in retaliation to Greer, to everything that he is working so hard to bring to life. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, there was some very powerful moments in that episode. Even going into the flashback, it was just very heartbreaking to see no one showed up at his funeral. At, like, well, it was a memorial, wasn't it? They didn't find the body because, well, obviously Harold is still alive, but the idea is he got lost. You know, he just ended up missing, and yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was just very heartbreaking, and even Finch going as far to say, you know, if anything happens to Grace, kill them all. I mean, yeah. This season has been very surprising in terms of character. Like, even last episode when Reese and Finch were debating on killing McCourt, that was crazy in itself. That was probably one of the craziest scenes to have played out on this show, just based on the idea of taking this life. Really, that does pose a threat to, well, not just the machine, but obviously those who are, you know, part of Team Machine, of course. But the debate itself, like Finch keeping his ideals intact, really, it was just crazy. And now we have this moment where Finch is outright saying, if anything happens to Grace, if they hurt her in any way, kill them all. I don't know about anyone else, but I felt a level of chills in my body when he said that. Just because he's not outright said that. And not just that, though, but it goes in really well the last episode with, you know, the decision to kill McCourt or not. And now, with him losing just about everything and all of that, if they hurt Grace, the biggest innocent in his eyes, because Grace is his world, anyone hurts Grace, he will give the order to kill. We have seen, like, this is it. The crazy thing is, though, it's not exactly the first time Finch has been above killing someone in order, like, you think back to Last Call in regards to how he was, I mean, he was, like, he knew that guy was going to waver, but he thought it was, the guy on the phone, I believe it was, because, just of the choice of words, in terms of, you know, what happened to that, um, to that woman and what she went through, especially with the threat of the little boy. But I mean, it's just the fact that he had an exposed wire and he was gonna give that guy the shock of his life. And that was very, very that was very scary stuff in itself. But I think there is a bit more emphasis when you hear Finch himself say, look, if anything happens to Grace, even the slightest bit of hurt, kill them all. I mean, that just speaks volumes in my mind. I don't know about anyone else, but I mean, it just worked really, really well with the last episode, like I said. So, yeah. But it also really, really makes sense with why he gave himself up to Decima, so that Grace could, yeah, it'll do anything for Grace. And he's just lost way too much as well, so he can't lose Grace again. I mean, this time for good. He can't lose Grace, so he's gonna have to give himself up. In order to... Well, that's it, though. It's not just the Grace as well, but by extension, he's looking out for his team as well, because they would be... it would be an endless dog hunt. On Shaw, on Root, on Reese. So, yeah. And he's not wanting that on them. So, yeah. But, I mean, that bridge scene was just rude. It was just absolutely rude. Especially, and I freaking knew what they were gonna do. Like as soon as she came out blindfolded, I knew that they were gonna have a moment where he would touch it, but she wouldn't know. She wouldn't know. So, yeah. But I mean, I was very curious to see where things were gonna go in terms of Greer when he had Grace in his hands. So yeah. Because there could have been the opportunity to reveal that little dirty secret and all of that. Like, somehow he's still alive, but he didn't have his hand. Like, even when they were doing the trade-off, he could have said something, but there could have been something said. But yeah, so yeah, but yeah, I mean, I just don't know where things are going to go for this finale. Like I said, because, I mean, they have their hands on Finch, sure. And there's no doubt in my mind that, well, I don't expect anything bad to happen to Finch, although then again, this season has been very, very rough. Obviously, with Carter's death, that's still obviously painful. So yeah, but I don't think anything bad, like fatal's going to happen to Finch. And there's got to be a way to rescue him, but I don't know if he's going to get rescued by the time we do wrap up the finale. Because I imagine that Greer and Samaritan are, I mean, yeah. It's just the fact that Samaritan, there is a lot of potential in regards to utilizing Samaritan. They were just in their little beta test this episode, so you've got to expect that to roll over into season 4. So, as well as the fact that I don't know if they're going to use a new UI for one episode. So, yeah. But I mean, it's great now that the machine is, or like with Root hijacking those servers. That's gonna get surely that's gonna give him a bit of a boost, or give us a bit of a boost, really. So, yeah, that's barring what happened, like, because you could imagine that. Well, next episode, Greer and his peeps might take the servers ultimately. So, yeah, but. Yeah, I mean, that's it though. Like, it's not just the fact that it was in its beta test and we don't know its full potential. It's the fact that they were limited as well. They even said that, like, there was that one guy who was like, oh, why can't we, you know, push the boat out a bit further and all of that. They can't do that exactly. They have to, like, they don't want to overclock things. They don't want, like, they are quite limited by the hardware they are utilizing. So again, it's definitely something that I imagine will roll over into season 4. But yeah. So I mean, it was just it's just going to be very, very fascinating to see what will happen. But yeah, it was very scary stuff. Because I mean, we've had Team Machine being headhunted by HR, for example, and they've had to stay in the shadows. But I feel like, especially with how advanced technology is and cameras are all around the world, this is like kind of raising the stakes a little bit, isn't it? So, yeah. I mean, you even had moments where Root was peeking around the corner and then Samaritan was like, that's a possible threat. So, yeah. And it was just like the team really had to work for this, and ultimately they still ended up losing Finch but that was on his own accord at the end of the day. So, yeah, but yeah, I also like have to say though, it was kind of eerie as well when it came to Root and how she was looking out for Grace in a sense, because I mean, you just got to think back to last season when she threatened to, when with Grace and how she kind of kept Harold at bay, like she used that to her advantage. But this time, I mean, it's all about looking out for her, isn't it? And looking out for Finch as well, and making sure that Samaritan don't, you know, thrive. So, but I think, yeah, I think with you know, how Samaritan has operated and all of that, it's kind of given a bit of confidence, really, that things. I mean, that's it though. Gray's even got a lot of confidence that okay, we can fully awaken this beast, and yeah. So. But, yeah, it was just very, very, yeah. I gotta say, though, kudos to Greer, because, he does manage to keep secrecy. Like I said, for some reason, I was worried, like, there was a bit of worry that he was gonna, you know, spill all and all of that, but, yeah, I mean, he does have a bit of decency there, and he even said to Finch towards the end, look, I didn't want to get us up on the wrong foot, like that kind of condescending tone and all of that, but yeah, he's trying to treat this like, that's it though. With Greer, he carries things with a bit of finesse, and it's not just the way he operates in terms of taking out your threats and all of that, but it's the way he treats people like Grace, in terms of he's not gonna be so cliche to be like, oh, you know what, Harold's alive and all of that. So he's putting a little bit of delicacy there, because ultimately this, like, what does he have to gain in terms of exposing things to Grace? If anything, if Grace exposes bits of information about Harold, that's more beneficial for Greer. But for Grace to reveal to Grace that Harold's alive, that doesn't really do him any kind of benefit whatsoever. So he's gonna, of course, handle this with a bit of finesse, because of the fact that, well, he doesn't want, there's nothing really much to gain, is there? So, yeah, but again, fantastic episode. I just think it's rude that they made me cry like that, but hey ho. But yes, great stuff. So I'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right. If you want to check out more of my content, you can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!